All right, not that I needed an excuse, not that I ever need an excuse to talk about cream blush. I am here today to talk to you about my current top picks for cream blushes for the summertime. So we're gonna talk about some of my favorite formulas, some of my favorite shades. I'm gonna do swatches. We're gonna all be super excited about these yummy colors because I know that, well, so many seasons are really for me all about the blush, but summer to me is all about that like flush cheek, give me the color, I wanna feel vibrant, and I can't wait to share with you the shades that I have picked out. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos, like maybe more blush videos. I am only doing cream blushes today. If you do want to see a powder blush video, please let me know down in the comments. I 75% of the time wear cream blush, but I do have some powder blushes that I really enjoy, so I would be more than happy to share those with you. I just thought that this would be, like I said, a good time to sit down and talk about blush, which I'm all about. And I did recently have someone had said that they would like to see my blush collection, and I will think about doing that. Let me know if you do want to see that. I do have a declutter video up on my channel from maybe a year, maybe almost 2 years ago now, actually. So maybe it's time to update, because obviously in that declutter video, you do get to see all of my blushes, but maybe I should do a little update. If you want to know about that, let me know. I will certainly do that. I could do a video where I swatch all of my blushes. If you want to see it, I'll do it. If I get enough people down in the comments that want to see it, I'll do it. All right, but today we're going to concentrate on the ones that I'm going to be wearing this summer, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get into it right now. All right, I brought you in a little closer because this way you can see the swatches on my arm. I'm hoping I can get all 12. I think I counted right. I think I have 12 shades to share with you, and we're just gonna dive right in. I'm going to start with a couple. I'm not gonna stick on these for too long because I've talked about them a lot, especially this shade right here. We're gonna talk about the Yummy Skin Flush Balms from Vanessa Myricks. This, of course, is the shade Jubilee. This is the one that was in my May favorites, and I don't see myself putting this one down. Think that this is such a wonderful, like, it's almost like a mauve-y terracotta shade. I think that the nice thing about this one is it can be built up to be, you know, a beautiful little like flush of color on deeper skin, but it can also be sheared out to just give, you know, lighter skin tones a hint of color as well. I know a lot of people have said that the pigmentation of these ones really scares them. I haven't had a problem. I only have the 2 shades that I'm going to be showing you today, but for me, if I'm using the right brush and I'm using a light touch, I just don't seem to have a problem. And again, I'm not going to get into that too much because I talked a little bit and kind of demoed that in my May favorites. This other color that I have, I picked this up when these first launched, so it was definitely more springtime, and this is the shade Prima Donna. I think that this is definitely a good spring color, but for me, this is something I'm going to reach for as my skin's a bit darker. I can totally just see wearing this with like some liner, some mascara. And I know that Danessa says that you can wear these like on the lips, the cheeks, the eyes. So I haven't done that. I can't imagine that I would want, I don't know, like they dry down a little bit matte, but balmy, almost like that maybe like powder kiss type formula. And I just don't know that that's like my favorite thing. So I will mostly primarily use these on the cheeks, but I could see if you just wanted like a quick eye, like especially that Jubilee shade would be really pretty. And I will give you an up close view of the swatches when we are all done here. So let's see, can I keep these in order so that I know what the heck I'm talking about later when I show you the swatches? Maybe that's a good idea. So the thing about the Vanessa Myricks Yummy Skin Flush Balms is that they dry down to more of that satin skin finish. Like, I would almost say matte, but like when I think of matte, I think of sort of dry, you know? So I don't want to say that because these are anything but dry, but you can even see here, they really have more of like that skin finish. Like it's almost the same finish as my skin. It's not more matte, it's also not more glowy. So I think that this is beautiful if that's what you prefer. I also think that the finish of this leans into the long wear of this product because that finish is just going to help, you know, keep it on your skin a little longer. Usually the glossy, glowy things tend to fade off a bit more. Also, if you are someone who wears your hair like a bit more into your face, you won't have it sticking. It's not going to be like rubbing off quite as much. So I think that it's just a really good option. I love these. I just think that they're so beautiful. I could definitely see getting more, and truly, I would love, and maybe she's coming out with it, but I would love to see a bronzer in this formula. I would really love that. And honestly, I feel like the contour balm sort of missed the mark as far as tones for a lot of people. Like the contour balm that I have, I like the texture of it, but it is really warm. It's really warm and it is more of like a glowy, balmy type product. So I would love to see something with a bit more like different tonality in this formula to be created as a bronzer. We'll see if it's coming. Okay, so now moving into the product, we might as well talk about the one that's on my cheeks. Let's face it, we are going to see some orangey, corally, peachy blushes in here. I love wearing those shades in the summer. I do feel like I have a little bit of a range in here. I do have a little bit of a range in here, but this is the one that I have on my cheeks and it is quite orange. I feel like the bold eyes don't show you quite how orange this is. And I wanted to share this because while this product has been around a long time, I think that there's a wide group of people who haven't tried the Glossier cloud paints. And now that they are in Sephora, hopefully you have a chance or an easier access to these. And this is the shade Dawn. Yes, this is the shade Dawn. I'm just gonna put a tiny amount. Now these are pretty concentrated. The packaging on this is okay. Like, I wish it was more of like a squeezy tube. Well, it is a squeezy tube. I wish it had more like this that I'm gonna show you in just a minute. This one just kind of gets a little sloppy. So I just have the tiniest little dot here. Now, they are very pigmented, but they sheer out really nicely. They're almost, oh God. Well, good thing I'm not getting paid to create beautiful swatches. I mean, I'm obviously not getting paid at all, really. But it's like, that swatch is lacking a little bit. So you can see here, I could build this up a bit more, but it is more watercolor. And I'll probably like leave it like that so that you can really see skin through this, even built up a bit more. So it's a bit more natural. Like I just sort of dotted it on my cheeks with my fingers and just tapped it out. That's all I have on. But I mean, you could really get this quite pigmented if you wanted to. So if you do have a bit deeper skin than I do, I think that this color would look gorgeous. I think you would probably want to be warm skin toned to wear this one, or neutral into warm. I think that like this is so orange forward that if you have cool toned skin, it might look a bit odd on your skin. But the formulas of this, I do have a couple other colors of the cloud paints and I do really like them. They do have a bit more glow to them, I would say. They're not super glossy, but they definitely are on the glossier edge of satin, if that makes sense. So now we might as well talk about this one. This is the Flower Beauty Blush Bomb, the Blush Bomb. And this is still one of my all-time favorite cream formulas. They're just really easy to use. I think that the packaging is nice because it stays pretty clean, it's precise, they have beautiful shades, and they're, you know, relatively inexpensive. So I chose out the shade Melon. I do have a couple shades. I have one that's a little bit more orange, and then I have one, I have several. Let's be honest, I have several. But this one I chose because if you like something that leans on that pinkier side of coral, maybe the one color I have is called Coral. So again, I just put out a little dot here. But anyway, as I was saying, if you like something that's on the pinkier side of coral, this really is more of like a melony, not quite watermelon shade. It's not quite as pink, I think, as watermelon shade, but it's in that like pink and coral combo. Now, these I think definitely have more of like a sheerable formula. Like you can put them on, tap them into the skin and keep layering a little bit. They're not quite as pigmented as the cloud paints. For some people that's going to be a pro, and for some people that's going to be a con. So it just depends on, you know, what you like. I do also think, I mean, granted, it's been a bit since, you know, that cloud paint was down, but I do think that the Flower Beauty ones have a slightly even more glowy formula, but it's not super glowy. Like when I wear them, it's not like I'm wearing like a glossy cheek. It just has a bit of that like healthy, drank a lot of water vibe going on. Hopefully that makes sense. I know that these made the rounds on YouTube a while ago, but they are still so good. I think that Ulta still carries these, and of course you can get them on the Flower Beauty website. And of course, anything that I can find, I will put links down below for your shopping convenience. All right, another one that's a classic that I want to remind you to pull out if you have it. And this is gonna be a different color than I think a lot of the other ones that I've picked out in here, but I'm sort of like thinking out of the box, thinking out of that traditional like summertime vibe, but this is one that I can't wait to wear this summer. As I'm like waving this around, you've probably seen that this is the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Cream Blush. The shade that I chose to show all of you is the shade Rosé Latte. And I have several. I have Daiquiri Drip, I have Strawberry whatever. I have a lot of them and they're all really beautiful, but this to me is such a nice one for this time of year. I mean, I think a lot of times this is one that I'll pull out in the fall, but the nice thing about wearing this color this time of year is that it's almost like that, what were they calling them? Bronzers, blush and bronzer. Yeah. So it's like this rosewood, beautiful, yummy shade. Again, it's very like you can sheer it out quite a bit, but you can build these up. So I think if you have a light to medium skin tone, this is going to make a really beautiful, like, just with like a tan and you just want to pop a little something on your cheeks, you know, like it's still a lot of color, but it's not like color like this, you know? So if you lean a little bit more into neutrals, or like I said, if you have a bit cooler skin tone on, you know, a deeper skin tone, I think this is just gonna give almost more of like a natural nude plus vibe, if you will, which is also gorgeous. I mean, this could be very easy, like no makeup, or just adding a little bit on to like, you know, give a little refinement, give a little pop to the cheeks. And I really love this one. As I was digging through here, I'm like, which one of these am I gonna pick out? Because I love this formula still. I think a lot of people have kind of gotten meh about them, but I still have them in my collection and I wanna use them. They still seem fine. Yeah, they don't smell weird. I totally just got lipstick on that. They don't smell weird. And you know, the formula is still working great, but I do want to use my makeup. Again, I am always here on my channel trying to balance out, like sharing some things that I think that maybe would be worth adding to your collection, but also trying to remind you, hey, if you have these in your collection already, pull them out because they're great. So on that note, whatever the saying might be, let's talk about this one. I hate the freaking packaging of this, but I like the formula and I like the color. This is the M Cosmetics Color Drops. This is the shade Sunset Sky. I still have the OG packaging of these and it is kind of annoying. I want to share this for all of the dry skinned lovelies out there and for anyone who, you know, just looks for like minimal makeup. I'm gonna try to get a big fat juicy swatch of this. These are fairly sheer. You can build them up a little bit, but they just are like popsicle cheeks, you know, like we've all been through the popsicle lip trend, and this is like popsicle cheek. It is very glowy. Like this glow will stay here. So for me, if I'm going to be wearing this product, it's a day that I have my hair pulled back, because otherwise it's not sticky, but it will definitely like rub, and I'm just worried that it would like wear away. You know what I'm saying? So for me, with all this hair, I definitely have to do it on a day that my hair is pulled back. But I think this is also a nice way to get a pop of color if you're almost wearing no makeup and you're just like, I have days where it's like, maybe I'm getting up and going to the farmer's market and I'm like, okay, I just want to pop on some mascara. Maybe I run a, you know, little tinted brow gel through my brows and I want just a little flush of color on my cheeks. This is just gorgeous to do that with. So really easy makeup. And again, if you have these in your collection, get them out. They're great for this time of year. Again, this is Sunset Sky. I have several shades. I really want to pull these out this summer on those days that, you know, hair's back. It's all about just a little glow on the skin. I'm really going to enjoy using that one. We just talked about glow on the skin, so I'm going to take this moment to talk about the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand from Charlotte Tilbury in Peach Gasm. So I have several of these. I do think that Peach Gasm for me really leans into that like hybrid between a blush and a highlighter. And I love this so much. I just think that this really can be an either or product. I mean, ooh, I could actually see putting the M Cosmetics down and then putting Peach Gasm over the top. Oh, that would be really pretty. And you can see this has a lot of sheen to it. This is just so pretty. Like on my skin, it is just almost like where I am with a little extra glow, you know? Like it gives me almost like Luminoso on steroids vibes, like a very creamy, dewy Milani Luminoso vibe, and I am here for it. I love this. A little goes a very long way with these, in my opinion, and I think that they blend out really beautifully on the skin. Maybe you can kind of see that there. It almost leans into like a peachy, coppery vibe, you know? So I just love this one. I love it a lot, and Lord knows these are not cheap, so I want to get some use out of it. So going from one that just about everybody knows about to one that I think a lot of people have never seen before, this is the Pep Balm from I'm Meme, and I got this in, I think that this came in a Yes Style advent calendar. I bought it, by the way. I have been gifted some things from Yes Style, but this I bought. And this is such a unique formula. It is a multi-purpose balm. So you could use this on the lips or the cheeks. There was a Sephora collection product that was out that was like a balmy type cheek product. This reminds me of that, just more pigmented, but still shears out. I don't even know. Can you just see how that just now has almost made my skin look a bit sunburnt? Like, it doesn't even look like product. I can't wait till you can see the swatches up close, but it just gives it that little bit of flush. And maybe you can see here, maybe I should have been showing finger swatches this whole time. It just looks like intensified sunburned skin. And so I think that, again, summertime, it's all about that like easy makeup. I just love this formula. I think it feels very nice. If you have oily skin, I would think that you would like this because now it's dried completely down. This is almost like, I feel like a staining balm, but it has a little bit of a, I don't want to say silicone-y feel, but it has like a bit of a satiny feel going down and then it dries down. And I think that this would be really nice on the lips as well. So I haven't tried it on the lips, only on the cheeks, but that's exactly what it's meant for, is a little bit of both. This is the shade 001. I think it comes in 5 shades and these are only like $6 on YesStyle. $6. Like, this is a lot of product. It will last you a really long time. And I like this sort of like flush of red. It's just so pretty. And I'm definitely going to get more use out of this one. Again, I think that this would really be so nice on over a tinted moisturizer or just right on bare skin. Okay, by the way, please let me know down below. Have you tried these at all? Because I have not heard of anyone who has tried them. So I would love to know if you have. And I'm sure everybody else who's watching this video would too. So now let's get into one that I just recently found in the back of my collection. I have a lot. I have a lot of cream and liquid blush products, and sometimes some of them get buried in the back, and I'm so excited to have found this one because I really do like this formula. This is the Nudestick Nudies Bloom in Poppy Girl. So the Nudies Bloom are the ones that have a bit of a like glowy feel to them, like a satin feel, and then they also have matte shades as well, but this is Poppy Girl. Now we're getting back into the like full saturation formulas here. I think that the Nudesticks products are so nice. Like, they blend out really nicely. They do have, when they first go on, a bit of like a feel to them. They don't dry down completely, but they don't like have super tack to them. But when they're going on, you really do kind of have to like pat them in a bit more because they have a bit more of a feel. There is a brush on this side. I did try it once and I was like, nah, that's not my jam. So I usually don't use that. I use another brush or my finger or whatever I'm feeling like at that time. This is just such a pretty color. Poppy Girl has, it's like a warm pink. And I think that, you know, if you aren't like me and you don't love like orange, 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 this has just a kiss of coral to it, but it's just beautiful. It's like a nudie, coral, pink, all the things, and I am here for it. All right, 2 more shades, and they are both going to be in that orange family. So for my orange lovers, stick around. So this is one that, again, I think I got this, ooh, maybe either at the beginning of spring. I think that's when this was. This is one of the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blushes. This is the shade Isla de Sol, and this shade is really pretty. I've actually had this in my shop, my stash for a while. I'm gonna take it out now because I've definitely given her some love, but this is more of an orangey coral, and this shade, because it is in that luminous formula, it does have a bit of, it has some sheen to it. The thing about this is it is sheen as in, you know, not the glow. It's in like little tiny micro reflex, but it isn't sparkle. It isn't glitter. Like, all the things that we're afraid of having in our cheek products anymore, this isn't it. It does have like very, very fine, fine little like micro reflex. So you can see it does have a bit of sheen there as far as like what's actually in the formula. I would say that as far as the formula itself, it's not super glossy. That sheen does come from that little micro reflect that's in there. It's very beautiful. If I didn't have a collection full of cream blushes, I would have definitely gone out and snagged a few more of these because I really do think that this is a lovely formula, especially for the price, but even without like taking that price tag into consideration, I think that this is a really nice one. It goes under the skin beautifully. Again, it feels really nice. Yeah, see here, this has already like semi-dried down, the e.l.f. one has, whereas the Nudesticks is a bit more balmy feeling still. So if you like something that completely dries down, the e.l.f. is a really nice one. So the next one, the last one, I actually just wore this the other day and I was just like in heaven. I wore this the other night when Jeremy and I went out for a little date night on Saturday, and I think Oh, again, we're talking about farmer's market. So I did, for that day, I just threw on a little Glossier stretch concealer, some mascara, and some brows. So we'd gone to the farmer's market at like 7:30 in the morning. We ran around, had a nice day, did some stuff around the house, and then we were going to dinner that night. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to like get jazzed up a little bit. And I was like, but I don't really feel like putting on a lot of makeup. So all I did was added this. I just added this and some clear gloss to my lips, and I just felt put together. I was wearing this like kind of rusty orange dress, and I thought that this went really nicely. This, by the way, is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Sweet Nectar. I actually have several shades of the Vision Flush that I would love. I almost put another one in here, but I was like, well, I gotta stop somewhere. And this one is such a beautiful orange leaning shade. Now this one, compared to the Glossier, has a little bit more pink to it, and it is a bit more sheer. That's the one thing about the Vision Flush, is they blend out really beautifully. It's not sheer, it's just more sheer than the Cloud Paint is. So you can see here, definitely leaning into orange, but not quite as much as what the Glossier is. So that's the Vision Flush in Sweet Nectar right there. This product is said to be a multi-purpose. So you can use it on your cheeks, you can use it on your eyes, you can use it on your lips. However, I don't care for using these on my lips because they are very floral smelling, and it is like chewing on a bouquet. That is the one thing here. I wish that they didn't have that smell, because I actually think that the formula is quite lovely on the lips. It's thin. It just gives you that bit of color. It's beautiful. When I first got this shade, I was very excited. I did like a monochromatic orange look, and I tried this on and I was like, this looks amazing. It tastes horrible. Like, I breathe, you know, I inhale and it's like, oh, I just chewed on roses. No, thank you. So that's a bummer, but the product itself, when it's on the cheeks, even on the eyes, that wouldn't bother me at all. So these are primarily cheek products for me. So these are my top picks for the summer. I definitely have a vibe here. I definitely have a vibe. It's a lot of those like warm corals, warm pinks. We have a couple like nudie tones in here. I have a type. Now, I do want to give an honorable mention. If you're surprised not to see any Salt New York Cream Tint Pros in here, that is because the shades that I would have recommended are now discontinued. Kiki went and sort of like booted out most of the original shades and now has all new shades. So honorable mention to Tangerine. If you have that one in your collection, pull that one out. But I was like, ugh, you can't even get these anymore. I didn't want to be a tease. So I do love Salt New York formula, but unfortunately, most of the shades I would have talked about aren't on the site anymore. And to be honest, I didn't want to stay on the site for too long because I was getting tempted. I was getting tempted to buy some of the new shades, and I don't need to do that. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I am now going to give you an up-close look at all of the swatches here, just in case there was anything that was like tickling your fancy and you want to see up a little closer or compared to other shades. But that is going to be it for today, lovelies. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Let me know some of your summer favorite blushes, because Lord knows, maybe I have it and it'll inspire me to pull it out in my collection as well. And I will see you really soon. All right, here's a closer look at all of my picks. We, of course, have the Danessa Myricks Flush Balm in Jubilee and Prima Donna. Then this next one is Glossier Cloud Paint in Dawn. Here we have the Flower Blush Balm in Melon, and we have the Fenty Cheeks Out in Rosé Latte. Moving on, we have the M Cosmetics Color Drops in Sunset Sky, the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in Peach Gasm. Next to that, we have the I'm Meme Pep Balm in 001, and then this is the Nudesticks Nudies Bloom in Poppy. Here we have the e.l.f. Cosmetics Luminous Putty Blush in Isla del Sol, and the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Sweet Nectar. You can kind of see the finish difference as well, so hopefully that was helpful.